Hello, everyone. It's Sunday once again. We've actually got 2 minutes to 2 o'clock. We're starting a bit early today, just in case so like we run into after 3 o'clock. At least it's not too bad for our drummer guest for today. But anyway, so it's 2 to 2 in the afternoon in the UK, which is like 2 minutes till 9 in the evening in Manila. I hope some of you, my dear friends in the Philippines, are joining us live today. So welcome to another episode of Ask the Drummer. I've got to say apologies for my voice because I am a bit I've got a bit of a cold, but it's not too bad. I've been drinking Lemsip and it works. It really does. So if anyone I don't know if it's available in Manila or in other parts of maybe not outside the UK, but if you can get Lemsip, do get it because it's really good for colds. Anyway, yeah, today's guest, I've got to say, he's the third drummer from this band that's been featured here on Ask the Drummer. Actually, is he's the fourth one if we're going to include their guitarist, who was once a drummer as well. I think he still is, but he just prefers playing guitar at the moment. But I am really excited to have him on the show today. My dear friends, please welcome Tom Levesley of Jetstream Pony. Yay!
Thanks, Anne.
How are you, Tom?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Apart from this cold, but I'm all right. So
Yeah, keep
yeah,
the Lemsip going.
yeah. It really does work. For me at least, I know that it does. It's like before I go to bed, just take some Lemsip and then have a rest, and then I'll be okay again in the morning. But yeah, the third drummer from Jetstream Pony, because all
Yeah, or the
featured.
fourth. I know it's a bit Spinal Tap, isn't it? Yeah. Yes, because I didn't realise that Tony had played with us as well. Because when you
Yeah,
said the third originally, I thought, yeah, there's Sean and there's Hannah
hands. Yeah,
and yeah, so Tony as well, who you had on from the Pop Guns, didn't you? Who's
yeah.
now
That's
doing engineering as well. So he's currently recording with him at the moment. So he's still involved. So
Yeah, yeah. I saw a photograph that I think it was Tony who posted it, or Sony Studio posted it. It's you, Sean, and Tony. And I thought, all they need is Hannes, and then it's like the four.
I tell you what, though, yeah, it's no fun recording in a studio with two other drummers who've done it before and they're watching you, and you think, yeah, I'm going to play this, and we'll see how it goes. But then, yeah, it was
Yeah.
a good day.
Oh, that's good. Well, Shine On. That was the last time that I saw you and Jetstream Pony. That was last year, Shine On. How good was that? Did you enjoy that?
Oh yeah, no, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was a really great event, and I loved getting there. It's a shame I didn't get there earlier because I think I came down on the Saturday and we were playing on the Sunday, and the others
Oh,
had been there the night before.
yeah.
But it's such an amazing place. I mean, but that big stage is incredible. One day maybe we'll play on that one, but we were tucked away in the bar in the corner, weren't we? But it's such a fabulous event. Loads and loads of people came up and chatted to us, as we were watching some of the other bands,
Yeah.
and it's really nice to be able to do that, to be able to hang around and talk to people and listen to what they're listening to and enjoying.
Yeah, yeah.
And it
Well,
was great.
in
We
that
played.
place,
The set was
um,
quite good fun as well. I think we enjoyed playing. And you were there to see us as well, weren't you?
oh yeah. That I was gonna say that place in on the green. I mean, that's a really good venue.
Yeah,
I like going there because you can actually get close to the band. I mean, the main stage is fine, but it's like a huge barrier or like a gap between the band and the. But
yeah,
in on the green is a special place, and also Beth was there from the beginning. So I remember sort of like seeing her on Friday night as well, where it
Yeah.
started. So it was really good. I just wanted to say hello to Lee Grimshaw. Hello from sunny Cornwall, he said. And
Really?
Sean, Sean Chum.
Aha.
Hi, Tom. We
Sean's
were just
always on.
talking.
He's
Yeah, we
always
were
on.
just talking about Sean because it was like four drummers from Jetstream Pony. So like,
Yeah.
on Ask the Drummer. But yeah, we were talking about because Lee was there from the first night to Shine On. So yeah,
That's
that was just really really good. Anyways, so welcome to Ask the Drummer. Episode 127 is all about you, Tom Levesley. And I'm really glad that I got your last name right because it
yeah.
was a
I
bit
was so
weird.
very impressed with that. Nobody ever gets it right first time.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So I just want to ask you, where are the Leavesleys from?
Yeah. Um, well, I grew up in the Midlands, so just north of Birmingham, in a place called Aldridge, which is near Walsall, and there's quite a few of us around there. But they travelled down from Sheffield, so our grandparents were in Sheffield, and I think still there's a big crowd of Leavesies in Sheffield. So my cousins has went to university and has ended up back there now. And I do remember him telling me a while ago when he first got to Sheffield and he went walking around the graveyards and saw all the Leavesleys there. And Leavesley's not that uncommon a name, but usually it's spelt with an A. So to see our name
Oh,
uh, written like that is quite
yeah.
unusual. So yeah, so I think there's still quite a collection of Leavesleys up there. There is a Tom Leavesley in Sheffield as well, who's a designer who I every time I Google my name, which is obviously very often, um, he comes he tends to come up first, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll try and put that right. So yeah, we kind of moved down from Yorkshire, and I grew up in the Midlands.
Yeah. Is that where you are now? Are you
No, so
oh,
I'm down on the south coast now. So we moved down. So I'm in a place called Lewes, which is near Brighton.
oh yeah, yeah,
I know you
yeah,
know Brighton.
yeah.
Um, so we're just kind of 10 minutes from the sea, which is fabulous.
Oh, that's good.
We've been down here
Yeah.
for quite a while now. So yeah, it's lovely. I never thought of myself as a southerner, but here we are.
It looks like a really nice weather there as well. So like nice and sunny and
Yeah,
yeah.
no, it's beautiful. We'll be at the beach this afternoon. So as soon as we're finished, we're packing up the car and we're off to the beach. So
Oh, oh, that's lovely. So
one of the advantages of living down here. Yeah.
yeah. So, growing up in the Midlands, so what was that like? Like music scene, especially. Did you so like I know Birmingham, they had a really vibrant music scene in Birmingham, but where you are near Walsall, you said.
Yeah, so yeah, I think we you tend to look to Birmingham from where we grew up. So the first gigs I went to were in Birmingham, and the Birmingham Odeons is just a fabulous was just a fabulous venue back in the day. It's a kind of 1,500 seater old sort of theatre, kind of little brother to the Hammersmith Odeon from those days. So you just everybody played there. And it was wonderful to go to. So I think we around in the early '80s when I started going to gigs, I was very into heavy metal then. So the new wave of British heavy metal had taken
Oh
over.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh, yeah. So I think one of the first gigs I went to was like Judas Priest and Saxon down at the Odeon, and they were fabulous. And there was also a good scene in Lichfield, which was up the road. So I used to meet up with friends and we'd go and see some of the bands in the pubs there. And again, that was a big rock scene.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think, my formative years there were very much listening to metal, trying to headbang with a big afro, which doesn't really work. Um,
Yeah, it's really funny because I told you this before we came online that with Hannes and Tony Bryant from Jetstream Pony, of course. I thought you were young. I thought you were so like I thought you were like a young drummer like them, so like
yeah, well,
thinking. So
I'm
when
still
you
young.
say But you're saying like you're in the 80s and gig. I was
Yeah,
like, no, it can't be. It can't be so like the 80s.
yeah, yeah. I'm deceptively young looking, of course. Yeah, I was very pleased
So
to hear you say that.
so are you from a musical family?
No, not at all, actually. No, so my parents didn't play anything, as far as I know. Um, my my oldest brother was tone deaf, and
Oh,
yeah, so I'm not really sure where it came from. So I was one of five kids. I was right in the middle.
oh right,
And,
like me.
middle kid,
Yeah, middle child as well.
always, always the best peacemaker.
Oh yes. So yeah, so none of them are like
Yeah, so
musical. They
nobody
didn't play.
played anything. And it's hard to think back to what got me started. I mean, I think I started playing drums when I was about 12 or 13, and there were some auditions for lessons at school, so I could still get free music lessons in those days. That's how old I am. But you had to audition, so I had to pass an audition to get through to get the lessons, and yeah, went from there. I think I just like the idea of, I don't know, being a rock star, or just having something like that. But
Yeah.
there was no music going on. My cousin's family, they were quite musical. There were guitars lying around and a piano there, and so that probably influenced. But yeah, no, it was just me sort of bashing away in the bedroom on the drum.
But did you try other musical instruments though, like in your cousin's place with the guitar, piano?
Well,
Did
I can play guitar. Um, I can just about play guitar, so I can strum a few chords. I can get away
yeah,
with that, but that's about as far as I can go. I'm not. I don't read music, so I just kind of learned to play drums pretty much by.
yeah.
Um, and yes, learned the guitar, so I can strum through some chords. I wouldn't say I'm a twiddly widdly guitarist by any means, and I,
No Earl Slick. I was so like I went to see Earl Slick the other night, and he was absolutely amazing. So I was all like, sorry for saying that, but um, did you have proper drumming lessons then, or did
yeah.
you
So
just?
I had lessons at school for a couple of years, I think,
Okay.
which was great. And I think it's probably one of the things I didn't really take the opportunity. I didn't quite take it seriously enough, because you had to go, at lunchtimes or whatever, or it's awkward times of the day. And I just sort of, sometimes when you're young, you don't know how lucky you are, do you? And
Yeah.
I just stopped going eventually. But I did enjoy it. And I do remember as well, there was a kind of Saturday morning session at a great big house in the middle of the village. And you'd have kids coming from all the schools around the area, and kids would be playing guitars and setting up bands in one room, and then there was a drum kit in another room, and full orchestra in another, and it was an amazing thing. And again, I'm not sure I sort of took advantage of that well enough. There were all sorts of
Oh,
people to meet, and
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I sort of rocked up a few times, had a go on the kit, because I didn't have a kit at home for a long time. So I was doing lessons at school and playing on the kit there, but we didn't have anything to
Yeah.
practice at home. So when we started the band, I started the band with my cousin and a friend, and I was playing cardboard boxes for about 2 or 3 years for the first for, for was probably on cardboard boxes, um,
Yeah.
and then got my first kit when I was 16, I think, eventually.
All right. Okay. So that was your first. That was your very first band with your cousins, and did
Yes.
you do gigs or?
Well, I'm not sure you'd call them gigs really. The first ones, I do remember playing in his front room to a crowd of about five school friends, and that was probably the first one. We did a couple, yeah, maybe when I was 16, 17, we did a couple. So I think when I first got my kit, we did some gigs at school, and we did one actually at a community centre in Birmingham,
Oh,
for a friend of my mum's, and we all went along, really, really raw, and we'd never played in front of a proper audience before, and
Yeah.
I'd only just got a drum kit, and the bassist was borrowing a bass off the headliners, and it was
Mm.
all a bit scatty. And yeah, the main band did the usual sort of main band thing and spent half an hour doing a sound check and left us no time at the end. And this was for a kind of community event. They were showing a film, and they were still being the usual kind of, we're the headliners, and you're the support act.
Yeah.
And we went on, and we had time for one song, so we played this one song, and I was presented with this Simmons electronic drum kit. I'd never seen one in my life before, and I was playing on that. But yeah, we got our own back because we realised at the end of the set the bass player had borrowed the bass from the headline band, and he'd
Yeah.
done the song, played it, and he put it down and leant it up against the amps at the end. But actually, he'd leant it up against the lights. So by the time they came to play, there was this nice little sunburst effect on the back of his bass guitar, where he'd burnt it against the lights. So,
Oh no.
and it wasn't deliberate, but I think we were quite pleased in the end. It was such a bunch.
Oh dear. Well, oh goodness me. What did the bass player say? What
Well,
did
we,
he
we
say?
were out the building before
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 I
it.
could actually sort of complain about.
So, yeah, if they're watching, we're very sorry, but they weren't very nice to us, so we didn't mind too much. But no, so we didn't play very much. Yeah, so that band, that was the Quibblers. That was the first band. So we only played
Good.
sort of
Okay.
2 or 3 gigs at school. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it was a good, yeah, it was a good founding. I do remember the first gig we played at a school, some charity thing, and yeah, after the first song, we just got this massive cheer, and it's like, oh God, this is amazing. This is great. I quite like being on stage.
Were you doing original songs or cover
we,
versions?
we wrote all our own stuff, that band, and I mean it's terrible. uh, I wouldn't fancy going back to listen to most of it, but some of it was all right. And we resurrected some of the songs a few years later. So at that point I went off to college. I went off to Liverpool and studied there for a few years, and then when I came back, we sort of almost got the band together and added another couple of members, and another couple of friends joined, and we started a new band. And we
Yeah.
resurrected a few of the old songs, the old Quibblers songs for Cal Fromage as well, and that was nice to be able to do those. We played a few more gigs and started playing around some of the
Yeah.
pubs around Birmingham,
Oh, that's
and playing to
yeah.
doing some proper gigs there. So that was nice to have our own stuff there.
Do you still see them? Do you
Oh
still see?
yeah, yeah, we're in touch quite a lot. Um, so we've still got, yeah, I've got this fantasy of getting that band together, maybe for my 60th when it comes.
Oh, right.
Uh,
But you didn't do any recording though. You didn't like
well, we
recording
did
yourself.
actually with yeah, I've got a cassette somewhere lying around somewhere with our cassette. So we must have recorded, I don't know, 10 or 15 of those
Oh, right.
songs. Um, and yeah, in a studio. That was my first. Yeah, no, it wasn't my first recording studio actually, but it was really great to have written a song and worked out how to play it and practice it together and gigged it, and then get back in the studio and get it on tape. So we've got some very, very poor recordings, and they're on SoundCloud or something, or one of those. I just threw them up
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
onto one of those. So I'll send you a link later, and you can listen to those and see
Oh,
what.
brilliant. That's yeah. I've been interested in that. And obviously, you haven't heard from the main act from your first gig.
Yeah,
You've not seen
yes.
them.
No, we lost touch.
Well, you mentioned that you went to Liverpool,
Yeah.
to the university there, and because again, before we came on live, I asked you because I found this article. It's actually on Facebook.
Oh,
Um, I'm not sure now what the name of the band is, but I think it's Rob and Rob.
yeah,
Is that
yeah.
the name of the band?
So yeah, Rob Jones and Rob White. So yeah, they're still going, and still playing some of the stuff that I played on as well. So yeah, Rob. I met Rob. Which one it was? Rob Jones, of course
Rob
it was.
Jones? Yeah. yeah.
Yeah, so I met Rob Jones. He was in his fourth year at college when I started, um, and he got me into this band, the Blue Sniffers. So that was a covers band doing, all the old '60s soul classics that the Commitments ended up doing all of that.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
So the Wilson Pickett's kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he got me into that band. So I played with him in the Blue Sniffers a few times, and then he'd been doing this stuff with his mate Rob White, um, and said, "Oh, come and play with us." So I played with them for a few years as well, and yeah, that was great. I mean, Rob's a great songwriter, really talented guitarist. They've both got great voices and work together really well. Um,
Yeah.
and it's really lovely to see them still going actually. And one day I'll go up and see one of the gigs. They play quite a
Yeah.
lot in Liverpool.
Well, there's this particular one that I saw. Um, I think it's about a song called "The French Girl in the Hall," which
Yeah.
so it says that you actually played. So was it you played drums on it? Was it ever recorded and was it released as a single?
Ooh. It was certainly recorded. So
Yeah.
we did I did 3 or 4 songs with Rob and Rob. Um, and yeah, French Girl in the Hall was great. There was a sax player called Stu Rimmer who had this brilliant sax riff that went over the top of it. And I put in some, I'm not sure what kind of rhythm you'd call it, a kind of
The
semi
samba?
calypso
Is it
kind of
like
samba. Yeah, it might be a
samba?
samba. I've no idea. Um, and it seemed to work. It seemed to work nicely with the song. And I noticed that they were doing a gig in Liverpool a couple of years back, and he posted some videos on Facebook, and they did French Girl in the Hall.
Yeah.
And I'd noticed the drummer he's doing like, oh, that's my drum pattern. That's amazing. He's playing pretty much the same thing that I'd done. And this guy was, a session musician who'd played all over the world,
Yeah. Yeah.
drummer. And,
Yeah.
yeah, he'd walked in and stole my drum pattern. So I was quite pleased with that. But we
I
haven't,
actually know. I actually know Roy Martin. I s- uh I saw him as the drummer of Modern English.
right.
That's how I got to know. So I thought I know that drummer. So
Yeah.
it's actually Tom who's done the original part of that like song. And
Yeah.
I watched that clip that they posted. I think it was like 4 years ago, or
Is that what it
maybe
was?
two
Yeah.
years ago. 2 years ago, and the song itself is just so good. So I tried to sort of like looked it up on YouTube to hear the actual recording, but I
Mm.
couldn't find it. So I
Right.
don't know
Yeah.
if there's an actual recording of it though.
Yeah, so Rob sent me a disc actually. See, he sent me a CD a few years back when we got back in
Yeah,
touch. I didn't hear from him for years, and I guess it was, yeah, it's probably Facebook we got back in touch.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's done me a CD with all the old stuff on. So yeah, I'll send you that as well. I'm not sure if he released it. I'm not sure if he released it, but they're often yeah, they've often been on the local radio, and I think we did entered some Battle of the Bands competition with stuff, so it's out
Yeah,
there somewhere. But yeah, I'm not sure it ever actually. I don't know if it made it to vinyl, but
okay.
I'll send you that as well. We've got
Because deal with Liverpool bands. Because I'm a big fan of Liverpool music and Manchester music. I tend to sort of like find out, or hear about these things, but I've never heard of Robin Rob before.
yeah,
But I thought, and in the 80s as well, because this is like 1988 apparently when it was
yeah,
when you played there.
that's right. So I was at college from '86 to 1990, and
Yeah,
we were playing, and I think the Robs had been playing together before that as well. So they must have been going for, God, how many years is that now? 40 odd years now they've been playing
yeah.
together. Um, but yeah, I don't think they got very far outside Liverpool. I think we did audition for Opportunity Knocks once. I don't know if do you remember Opportunity
Oh,
Knocks?
right, yeah, 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 yeah.
We all trundled up
Yeah.
to trundled up to Manchester, to a hotel in Manchester, and mimed along to one of the songs. It might have been French Girl actually,
Oh,
and mimed along to one of the one of the songs on a big stage at a theatre in Manchester, and
yeah.
yeah, we got hooked pretty quickly. But I think that was the opportunity where we could have gone big, and might happen.
but but the well, according to this article, is the manager of the Beatles who actually took notice and got you so like you promoted this song.
Oh
Is
right,
that
well, I don't know
yeah?
that story. That must have been yeah, that must be something that's happened to the Rob since.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
that's fantastic.
But that's good. But
I
so,
mean,
did you were you in other bands apart from that when you were in Liverpool, or was this
I
the only
played
band?
a lot. Yeah, I played in a lot of bands at Liverpool. I think that was probably my sort of gigging, banding, drumming education, really. So I must have played in half a dozen bands um, when I was up there. So they were mainly covers bands. I was in a band called Pigs in Space, and we did a lot of very poor covers. Well, good covers of poor songs. Anyway, I do remember doing "Living on Prayer," which is a song
Oh,
I really
okay.
do not like, but it's actually a lot of fun to play. Um, so we did a bit of that, and we'd play at the college fairs and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And I did
Because
do a double header
Liverpool.
once where I played Pigs in Space with the support, and then played the
Yeah,
Blue Stiffers as well. So I was on stage all night, which
yeah,
was good.
yeah. Well,
So
Liverpool at the time, like you said, from 1986 to 1990, that was like the time when when like the music scene in Liverpool is so exciting.
yeah,
That
it was
that
picking up.
sort of like period.
Yeah, it was because I think when I started, I went there in '86, and it's kind of the music scene, the pop scene, anyway. I
Yeah,
didn't enjoy it, and I wasn't into dance music, and I certainly wasn't into bad dance music. And then towards the back end of the '80s, as you say, the Liverpool scene and the Manchester scene really picked up, and it got lively. I'll be honest, I didn't see much of it. We tended to stay around Liverpool, and when I did go and see bands, there was a fantastic club called the Cumberland in Liverpool, which was a kind of a dirty rock den. So you go down into the cellar and
oh,
see, see a load of long-haired guys playing electric guitars, and that was my kind of thing.
oh, okay.
So I remember bumping into Ian Gillan there, and chatting to him, which was uh, one of the highlights of my lives. But that was my Liverpool scene, was the
Okay. So you were more so like into the yeah the rock one instead, because I think for most of us Filipinos, for many of us anyways, we we like the what we call the new wave scene, or maybe the electronic synth pop uh scene, which a lot of Liverpool bands were like that at the time. So you were really into that. So like,
not at the time. No, I mean
no,
it's something I'll listen to now, but yeah, I have to admit, it passed me by a little bit. There was a fair bit going on in the college discos, and
yeah.
yeah, I wasn't much of a dancer, I'm afraid.
Because one of the things that I've noticed is your name is not on Discogs yet. You need to put your name on Discogs because it's a bit difficult to sort of like trace the bands that you were in. Because
Right.
sometimes like
No,
like say like Sean. I mean Sean. When I saw like my script for Sean, you type in his name on Discogs and you'll see all the bands that he played in. So it's quite easy. But for you, it's a bit difficult. So after you left Liverpool and went back to, I'd say, did you go back to Walsall
back to the
or
mid. Yeah, I went back to the
back to
Midlands.
the
Yeah,
Midlands?
so I was living.
So did you carry on with your sort of like music career or?
Yeah, so we started playing. Yeah, I'm not sure I'd call it a career at the time, but yeah, we started playing again. Started playing with my friends. So we were playing as this five piece, um, and that was good. We had sort of 3 or 4 years of playing around some of the pubs around Birmingham,
Yeah.
and we were writing our own stuff, and we were kind of I'm not taking it seriously, but we were doing it. We were never thinking, right, how are we going to get to the next level and how are we going to make it. But we were working hard on it, practicing hard, and writing our songs and enjoying doing that. And well, you never know. We kind of came to a sort of natural end when the guitarist went off back up north. I think he went off to Leeds or something, and I moved off down to London. So we kind of went our different ways without sort of really having a go. But I think we were all, I suppose we never had the confidence to go, do you know what? Should we do this? Should we give it a go? And we'll start getting it out there. We were all a bit shy and
Oh,
not
did you have a manager? Did
no,
you have that?
doing that ourselves. Well, one of our mates acted as a manager. He sort of got us some gigs and did artwork on our cassettes and stuff like that. But
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah,
that's about it's just about giving it that commitment, isn't it? If you're going to go for it, you've really got to go for it. And I think we were always thinking, oh God, what are we going to do for money and how are we going to do this? And we'd all got jobs that we didn't really want to give up just in case, So I think that's you either go for it or you don't. It doesn't kind of come and get you, does it? So
yeah, yeah,
it would have been nice to, it would have been nice to see where it had gone in terms of, at least the songs and the songwriting, because I think we worked well together as a band and we knew each other inside out
yeah.
as friends. And we had our fallings out, but we had a lot of fun. And I'm kind of proud of the stuff we did with that band. I'm kind of proud of it.
Yeah. Well, it's not too late, If you're still sort of like in touch, then you can give it another try.
Well, that's it. Yeah, I'll get them back together for my 60th. We've still got we've got the original recordings. Get them remastered, and then you never know.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. You get a new, it's like new fans and so get out there. So after that, what did you do then? Did you sort of like join another band
So
or?
I was I moved down to London, and this was about '94 when I moved down there. And I didn't play for a while, and then I happened to bump into a guy I was playing with in Liverpool. So a guy called Nigel, who I played in a band with up in Liverpool. We just happened to be in the same pub one night, and in Wimbledon, and we got chatting. Said, "Oh, how are you?" Blah blah blah. Talked about old times,
Yeah.
and then went our separate ways that evening. And then I think it must have been the following week at work. He just showed up at the office on Euston Road, and it's like, "Oh right, hello Nigel, it's good to see you." And he said, "Oh yeah, we need a drummer. Are you still playing?" And he got me into his band there, which was they were called Fat Sound. It was kind of a functions band, really. So
Okay.
we were it was a covers band. We were going to doing weddings and doing various parties and the rest of it. But that was good fun. It got me playing again, and we did that for 2 or 3 years.
Okay. Yeah.
I had a good time with that band, and still in touch with some of those. When we played at when Jetstream played up at Euston at 229, we'll be playing there again in a few weeks' time.
Oh, right, yeah.
The guitarist and the bass player from that band came along, and it was so good to see them. I hadn't seen them for so long, and we hung around and talked about it. But it's good. So I suppose I just it was a mixture of those first few years, mainly playing covers bands, just playing with anybody who'd have me, and then doing a bit of our original stuff. But it's always a hobby. I think that's the thing. Drumming's always been a hobby, and took a backseat to whatever else I was doing.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, when we talk about Discogs, you never joined a band that actually sort of like released something and it's sort of like you're credited, so your name will be on Discogs or something. So you never, apart from now with Jetstream Pony.
That's right. Yeah. And I'm not quite there yet until we get the album out. I'm still sort of in the background. I got a credit on the last single. That's So
But they still haven't sort of like put your name, so like so there's a link to. I think I have seen it. So like drums by Tom Levesley, but not
yes,
a link because it would
I
be nice
played
to
on.
sort of have
Yeah, we had a
art.
single. The single we put out last year. Hannes did the recordings on, and yeah, as you know, Hannes is a fabulous drummer,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
and he did the recordings on that session. And then we went back and put a second track of drums on Captain Palisade. So Sean's always had an ambition about having two drummers, having a band with two drummers. So yeah, that might still happen. We might have three drummers on the stage one day. Um, so we went back into the studio and did. I put some tracks on the back of Captain Palisade. So that was my first credit, and
right.
then yeah, say hopefully we got the album. He's about halfway there now, I think, and
Yeah, yeah.
so whenever that
Well,
comes out, I'll get the Discogs thing going.
yeah.
Go.
The artist, your artist, so like entry in there. But
Yeah,
before I ask you about Jetstream Pony, any other bands that you were in before that, or
God,
did you
yeah.
stop playing?
Well,
Or?
I suppose the other band after after the Fat Sound band, again I stopped playing for a while. Did a few bits and bobs with a guy called Pete McDonald, who again I knew from Liverpool, that played with there,
Yeah, yeah,
and he was in a band with a friend called Paul, and they were doing stuff, and I played with them a couple of times, did the odd gig, and did a bit of rehearsal with them, and then I just had this craving to form a Blondie tribute band, and I've always been a massive fan. I love Blondie, and
oh,
I remember going back to, so although I was a rocker in my youth,
yeah, yeah,
all that sort of post punk stuff was great, and Blondie came out of that with this sort of amazing pop and
yeah. Well, Glenn Burke is a
Clem.
brilliant drummer.
Oh my goodness, you get him on here, you'll
Yeah.
adopt him.
So you wanted to do so you wanted to have a band where you can do a Glenn Burke
Exactly
drumming
that.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, how do I get that? So I was playing with these two guys, and then a friend of Tessa, my partner Tessa, had a friend who was a singer, and it just all sort of came together. He said, "Oh, well, should we give this a go?" And she said, "Okay, oh yeah, I love Blondie. Let's do this."
Yeah.
So we formed a band called the Parallel Lines and started doing a Blondie tribute for a few years,
All
and
right.
that was amazing because you know the music is amazing, the drums are fantastic. So
Yeah, yeah.
every single song is a joy to play, and they were Pete and Paul, great musicians, and we had a blast. Well, I had a blast anyway. And as we were going for a couple of years, and you get better, and start playing with better sound systems. Particularly, I do remember playing this gig in Islington. I think it's the Lexington now, but it's just upstairs in a pub in Islington.
Yeah, yeah.
They had this fantastic club night on, best sound I've ever had, and it was like a dream. I mean, whacking it out like Clem Burke, it was brilliant. Because everything about what he does is, it's what's well, we'll get to Jetstream Pony in a minute, as you say, but it's everything that Sean doesn't like in a drummer. It's sort of flashy,
Oh,
and it's loud, and it's busy, and it's messy, and it's great. It's really great. So I had a lot of pleasure doing that. So that was I suppose the last band I played in London,
yeah, yeah.
and then we moved down here, moved to Brighton in. God, I lose track of the years now, but just after my son was born, he's 16 now.
Yeah.
Um, so we moved down here around about then. I didn't play for a while.
Oh,
I didn't play for a long time after that. So yeah, it was the Blondie band was probably the one before.
the last one that you did. So you're not so like wanting to resurrect that band and start it again? Because I mean,
Yeah,
covers. I mean, like tribute bands are very big at the moment. So they even have like tribute bands festivals.
I know, and we did get invited to do one of those. Actually, we couldn't do it in the end, but
Oh,
yeah, they're amazing, and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
yeah, it's great. I
Yeah,
have
it was.
arguments with a
Yeah,
friend about tribute bands, but they are
yeah,
they're wonderful to play. And yeah, if you can't see the original band, or if you're too, they're not going
yeah,
anymore, or then well,
yeah.
why not? Yeah,
And you get all the hits as well, because sometimes if it's like,
yeah,
if it's the real band, they only play what they want. But if you
yeah,
saw like a tribute band,
yeah. Nobody wants to hear the new stuff, do they? Just play me the hits.
because even that Shine On, I mean, there's a night where they all, it's every so like single performer or bands are all like tribute bands and stuff. And you get a lot of people so like going there as
Yeah,
well.
tributes to themselves. Yeah, they must be loving it. And
Yeah. But yeah, so after that, so you stopped playing for a bit, but you kept your drum kit, obviously. I can see it from
yeah, well, it
right
nearly went
behind you.
actually. Yeah, it nearly went. It 'cause I hadn't played for it was probably getting on for 10 years, and I was thinking, what age am I? And I haven't played for all this time, and this thing, it's a great big hulking Premier APK kit, takes a lot of space, and so I did go to sell it, and then yeah, my partner Tessa and a few other friends go, no, you can't sell the kit. You can't sell the kit.
No, yeah.
Keep the kit. And there was a campaign. I think we got maybe 175 signatures to keep the kit. So I don't know if it was debated in Parliament, but it was certainly a big issue. So I never sold it in the end.
That's
Um,
good. We have to say like massive thanks to Tessa for so like
absolutely.
saying,
Yeah.
because she could have just said, no, you don't use it anymore,
Yeah. Let's make a bit of
sell
space.
it. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So, how did you get into Jetstream Pony? Well,
Mm.
what happened to?
Yeah. Well, it's football, really. So you'll know Sean's a big football fan.
Yeah.
Um, So I started playing football on a Tuesday night with this bunch of guys, and I mean that was another thing I suppose Tessa's responsible for. So I played football as a kid forever. Any time I could, I'd play football.
Yeah.
And then I sort of in my 30s, I sort of started to feel a bit old and creaky, and I just stopped and sold my boots and got rid of all of that. I never thought I'd play again. And then a friend of hers was playing, with bunch of old guys, and she said, "Oh, why don't you go and meet Howard and go and have a game?" And so I started playing with this bunch of guys. So it's a Tuesday night kickabout. I'm what am I, 57 now? I'm probably in the middle of the age group, maybe one of the older ones. Everybody's between sort of 40, 45, and 65. So, but it's a great game, kind of competitive, but loads of fun,
Yeah.
and everybody just wants to enjoy themselves, really. So I've been playing with this on a Tuesday night for a couple of years, and I happened to mention at some point to somebody, I said, "Oh yeah, I used to play the drums and blah blah blah," and they said, "Oh, Sean's a drummer." So I'd known Sean for a couple of years and had no idea who he was. Merrily playing football with the drummer from The Wedding Present and not really paying attention. Like he's just this left back with a hot shot left foot, and so I got chatting to Sean, and he's going, "Oh yeah, we've got this band, Jetstream Pony," and blah blah blah. So we talked about that, and then um, I can't quite remember the sequence, but I think it was around about sort of COVID time or just before that, and he phoned me up and he sort of said, "Oh, you know, you play the drums, and we've got this band. We've got this drummer Hannes who we really really like, but he's in Germany, and sometimes that's a bit
Mhm.
difficult. And maybe you'd want to play with us sometime." I said, "Oh yeah, that'd be great. That'd be fabulous." And then didn't hear anything really, and that's obviously COVID hit, and nothing happened for a long time anywhere. And Jetstream Pony carried on, and they did some recording, and as things picked up, they started playing again. And then, yeah, it's probably a year ago, 2 years ago. Yeah, it's a couple of years ago, I think. And Sean sort of, called me up again. And he said, "Oh, yeah, I think we've got this gig, and Hannes can't make it, or it's too expensive to get the flight over, or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Because if if you're getting a few £100 to play the gig, you don't want to be spending 500 on it. So
I know.
I think it was that kind of thing. So, um, and at this point, Sean hadn't heard me play at all by any means. So I think he was taking a bit of a punt. Um, so I turned up for a rehearsal with Sean and Kerry, having learnt a few of the songs frantically in a few weeks. And yeah, I think it seemed to go well. I certainly
Yeah,
enjoyed it. Um, and we played this gig up in Rochdale, I think it was, and somewhere up that way, some beer festival.
yeah, yeah.
And that was, yeah, I think that was 18 months ago or something like that, 2 years ago. That was the
Well,
first.
the first time I saw you was supporting the Orchids at 229
Ah, you were
in
at that.
London.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I thought, because I was yeah, because I was expecting Tony, but I realized that Tony still had, because he had problems with his hands. I think
did,
he had
yeah.
operation and things. So,
Yeah.
and then
So,
I realized that's a different drummer that they've got there.
yeah, it doesn't look like him, doesn't it? Doesn't look like Hannes, no.
And then because that venue is actually very far from Victoria Station, I
Yeah.
had to rush out. So
So,
that's why I didn't actually get to see you, didn't get to talk to you or like ask for a
did
photograph.
you see? Did you see the set though? You got to see the.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw all the Robert Sakula was the first one, and then Jetstream Pony, and then the Orchids. But then I had to leave straight after the Orchids at the time. And then the second time was did you do Glass? I think Glass. No, no, not Glasgow's Pop. I think it was not
Yeah.
Preston either. Shine On, I think, was the second one that I
Yeah,
saw
that
you.
was. Yeah, I think that was when I saw you. So I didn't. I played at. We did a New Year's gig.
Oh yeah, that's
Glasgow
right.
Pop
Yeah,
Festival.
yeah,
Yeah, Mono, and you
yeah,
the
yeah.
year just gone. But yeah, I don't think you were at that, were you?
No, I wasn't able to go to that one because I think, like, traveling wise, it's not really a good idea to go
It's a
to
long way to go.
spend New Year's in Glasgow. So,
Yeah, yeah. I'll let you off that one. Yeah,
yeah. No, but Shine On. I remember, I remember going to the restaurant where the artists eat,
yeah,
and you were right in front of me.
yes,
I
yeah,
know that you noticed me, but I was so because I was given a pass by Candy Opera, by Mal from Candy Opera, so I could have a free meal at the, the
so
artist.
that's how you got in, was it? Okay.
It was all I'm sure. Well, Beth actually just said hi, Tom. I'm sure Beth and Lee was all wondering what she doing here, so having a free food.
That's right. No, you did well to get in there. Yes, so you collared me then, didn't you?
Yeah.
But I do. Yeah, I remember talking to you after the gig, didn't you? Because you were hanging around after the set, weren't you?
Yeah,
In the
yeah.
Inn on the Green. I think that was the first time we met and talked.
That's right. Yeah, I had a photograph with you then, and then also I think that's when I asked if I could send you details about us the drummers.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, well, Sean just said that Hannes could often not make gigs, so Tony used to fill in, but had the problem with his wrist, so we were up to play in middle. Oh, it's in Middlewich, so
Middlewich. That was it. Yeah.
yeah. Suddenly we couldn't play either, so I asked Tom, and he learned the songs in 2 weeks. So that's from Sean.
Right. Yes. Yeah, that was quite. Because I hadn't met Beth until the morning of that gig. So I'd rehearsed with Kerry and Sean, and Beth couldn't make it. So we're all sort of Brighton way, and Beth's up in Croydon, and she hadn't been able to
Yeah,
make it. So um, they were travelling up. I was in the Midlands seeing friends the night before, and they rocked up in Bromsgrove on the Saturday morning, and that was the first time I met Beth in the cafe having breakfast. And we all drove up to Middlewich, and yeah, first time with
And-
Beth on stage
yeah.
was it. It's the real thing. I think she called me. What did she call me? An AI drummer. She turned around after the first.
AI drummer.
Right, this is Tom. He's the AI drummer.
No, it's like yeah, it's really nice of Beth because I don't know if you're aware of this, but Beth is actually massive in the Philippines. A lot of the indie kids, like indie music loving kids in the Philippines, they love Beth Ozzy.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that she's actually joined us.
Well,
And she
she's
said,
fabulous. Yeah, she's
yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah. Well, so you're recording at the moment a new album.
Yes, that's right. So yeah, so we it's been in the. I think Lee's been nagging for quite a while about getting a new album, and I do remember sort of last year, back end of last year, and Sean and Beth were saying, "Oh, I'm trying to write stuff for the new album," and it seemed to be taking a while to get anything together. And then all of a sudden, all these songs appeared. Sean would be sending a new song, a new demo over every week, and suddenly we had this album full of songs, which is great.
Yeah.
Um, so we started practicing those at the beginning of the year, and doing a few of them, uh, getting them together, and we started recording. So I think I was in the studio 3 or 4 weeks ago to do the drums with Tony. Then it's at Sunny Studios. So we put those together, got the drums down. Beth's due to do the vocals next week, I think. And yeah, and then a few more bits and pieces. I'm not sure when it's scheduled to release, but it's certainly be this year. If Lee's got anything to do with it, it'll be next week. But
Oh,
I think it might take a bit longer than that to get together.
so you don't all go into the studio and record at the same time. So you do it by stages. So it's you do the drums and then vocals and
Yeah, that's right. So
oh
it's an interesting process actually. So Sean had put together the demos where he's singing, and there's a drum machine, and he's doing the guitars, and I think the bass as well. Um, and they're almost complete songs by that stage. So I went into the studio,
yeah.
put the drums on the back really of almost a complete track, and then we start layering it up again. So I think when I'd done recording before, it was always the drums first, and you're there playing with a click track, and the guitarist playing an acoustic guitar strumming along to give you a guide, and it's really hard to get kind of the feel of the song. But actually, when you've got a demo in your ear, you know the song, you can hear it as you're playing, and it's
Yeah.
much better. I think it's a much better product at the end of it, because you're playing along to the whole song rather than just to a little guide track. So
Yeah.
we sort of, yeah. So we start with the whole song almost, and then sort of take it apart and build it up again with the drums. So Sean's done his guitars now. I think Kerry's done the bass, and there's a few more guitars to go on, which Mark Matthews from the Dentists will be putting on a few tracks as well, I think. And then say Beth doing the vocals next week, and then hopefully it's just about the mixing and the pressing. So it's it's
Yeah. Can I just ask? I know that Sean's listening as well. So when Sean writes a song, maybe Sean and Beth sort of like write the song,
mm,
and being a drummer, so he's already got the drum parts. Or
yeah.
so, so can I just ask you? So what's your sort of like input? Do you just sort of like do what Sean's already done? Sorry, I just
That's
sort
a
of
very,
like.
very good question. How shall I answer this delicately? Yeah, so I think I took those demos away, and
Yeah.
yeah, sort of played along with them and tried to come up with some ideas and some patterns. And then we got back in the studio and played some of them together in rehearsal. And then some of them we didn't play together at all before I started recording them. And Sean has his ideas about what he wants from a drummer, and it's not Clem Burke. So it's kind of there's a creative tension there. Should we put it this way? Um, where Sean, he likes his a very straight kind of repetitive drums, and that's the band. It is what works. So I'm kind of learning to be more disciplined, I suppose, which is good. And I'll
Yeah.
sort of push the boundaries every now and then and try and get a feel. And if Sean doesn't look round and go like that, I'll take that as a yes, and I'll keep it in. But
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a really good process actually, because I mean, Sean's a great drummer, Hannes is a great drummer, Tony's a great drummer as well, um, and the band works with that, and the band wouldn't work with a with a second-rate Klemberg. So it is right. But yeah, you try and put something in to make it, fun to play and interesting to play.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
So yeah.
the songs are great, and that's what carries me a long
So
time.
you still have your sort of like stamp on it. You have your sort of like
I like to think
yeah,
so. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
you're,
Well,
you're
Sean
things ahead
said
of me.
well, Sean said that it's a one beat drum machine on the demo, so it's not his drum. So he said,
Yeah, that's right.
but he also said that he does have annoying opinions.
Yeah,
No, I'm just sort of like curious about this thing because like I always thought like what the process is like when you're doing a
yeah,
song, like when you're writing. Do you have the drum parts already, or is it just the guitar parts
yeah.
or
And it
the
does
vocal?
vary from, I guess lots of bands do it differently, and some bands will, record a live track together, and some bands will build it up from the drums, and some drummers will do, each drum separately. We'll do the hi hat, and then they'll come back, and then they'll do the snare, and
Yeah,
so it's very different. And I think that contributes to what the sound is at the end of it.
yeah,
Well, I think this works well. I mean, what was nice actually in the with recording these. Um, so I was in for a day, just me and Tony, and we got through most of the songs and put stuff down. And Tony's great as well because he's got some good ideas, and he can say, "Oh yeah, this will work," and well, maybe not. And he also understands, what the band needs, and he'll say it's probably not right for this one, or how about this? And that was great, working with someone like him. And then Sean came in the next day, and there was only, I mean, to be fair to him, there's only a couple of things he wanted to change, but that was a really nice process. So
yeah,
it did feel quite daunting being the third in line to Sean and Tony playing, but actually it was really nice saying, well, how about this? Oh no, what about this? Why don't you try this? That works. This doesn't, and it's great. So I think at the end of that,
yeah,
you've
yeah.
got something that's going to work for the band and something that's going to work for the song.
Yeah. Well, Sean said that you've also written the lyrics for one of the songs, so you're a creative songwriter as well. So
Yeah,
you
so
both, yeah,
that's
you
yeah.
both.
Hopefully that'll get in. I mean, that
Yeah,
was great. Yeah, it's nice to be writing again.
yeah,
I haven't written a song for 20 odd years, and the last ones I wrote, I'm not very proud of either. So yeah, it's good when it comes together. I think, oh,
yeah. Well, I'm sure once this is released, then your name will be included in that Discog. So, like,
yes, that's it.
and actually, you do need to have your sort of like name included in the Jetstream pony, so like entry as well. Because at the moment, it's got four. I mean, Tony Bryant's not included in there, although he had some credits.
Yeah,
So like for doing some of the singles, I think.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. So we are really looking forward. I'm really looking forward to this new album, and hopefully it'll be, if not this year, or if Lee wanted it, like next week.
Well, we've got a few of the new ones. Will be we're playing 229 again in a couple of weeks, and I think we're doing a couple of the new ones then. So a little
Yeah,
preview of the new stuff.
yeah. Is this a headline gig for you on Two Tonight?
Yeah, so we're doing two. We're playing in Bristol on the Friday, and I think we're supporting Secret Shine. I think that night,
Okay, yeah,
and then
yeah.
we're headlining at 229 the night after. So my son calls it the Brunel tour because we're going from Bristol to London along the old Brunel Railway. So
Oh,
he's christening it, he's christened it the Brunel tour. Um, So yeah, so we'll be doing a couple of the new ones there. So yeah, if I don't know if what your gig plans are then, but you can hear some of them.
Yeah, see. Well, Lee said that hopefully the album will come out this year. Yeah, so fingers crossed for that. Well, it's nearly 3 o'clock, but I still have like a few questions to ask you, like regular ones. First of all, you're doing that Blondie tribute band
Yeah,
and doing the Klemberg, so like style of drumming. So did you twirl when you were doing the Klemberg
that's
one?
well.
Because he's famous for sort of like those
Yeah,
twirling.
yeah. No, I've never dared do it live. I can I can just about do a couple of rotations, I think, but no, I don't twirl. It's uh, it's an art that I haven't sat down and practiced yet. That was one of my. I mean, I should have done it really by now. When I saw Saxon in 1981 or whatever it was,
Yeah.
I remember Nigel Glockler, the drummer from Saxon, doing the full, flaming sticks and two twirls with the flaming sticks up in the air. And one day I'll do that.
Well, Beth said, please twirl. Yes, yes, I second that. Please,
I'll
please
get
do.
this one. I'll get my practice in. I'll get practice.
For the new album, for the new song. Well, the next one is Drumming Heroes. Do you have any sort of like drumming heroes?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Quite a few. So I mean, Klemberg obviously, just tremendous, and yeah, the others are sort of just reveal my music taste really. So Ian Pace, Deep Purple drummer, it's just this, like the whole band, this fantastic
Yeah.
virtuoso musician, and he's yeah, I don't know if I've got a number one, two, three, but him and Klemberg, Brian Downey from Thin Lizzy, and
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Martin
Yeah.
Chambers,
Yeah.
the Pretenders, all these fantastic guys who I think what I love about them is that they contribute to the songs. You can't imagine those songs without those drums, um, and you can't imagine those drums being played by anyone else either. I saw Ian Pace playing the NEC in Birmingham, um, sort of the late 80s, and he was just absolutely on fire, and I was right at the front. I was staring at him all night, watching this. It's the most amazing drumming performance I've seen. And at the end of the night, they all came to the front of the stage, and I don't know if it's right, but I've got this idea that I'd been watching him all night, so maybe I caught his eye, but he seemed to lean down and throw his stick at me, and
Oh,
I reached up and I grabbed the stick and I had it in my hand for like half a second before some guy behind me
it
yanked
just,
it out of my
oh
hand.
no.
So I had Ian Pacey's hat.
Oh no. Is
Uh,
that annoying when someone does it? Because obviously you can tell that the drummer wanted to give it to you, but
well,
then
I like to
somebody
think so.
just so.
I like to think he said, "I'll give it to that guy who's been watching me tonight."
Can I just ask? Because Jetstream Pony, I hope the other band members don't mind me saying that they're like indie pop, right?
Yeah,
So it's like not really. You're more. I can see now that you're more into rock. You're more sort of like not really heavy rock or
I think
something.
this kind of makes the band work in some ways because there's a sort of there's a lot of different directions pulling at once, and I think Kerry on the bass. I think I've got a lot in common with her in terms of a style of play. So she's got this fantastic grungy bass sound, this kind of Sonic Youth thing going on,
Yeah.
and I think my drumming fits in quite well with that. And then the contrast with Beth singing and Sean's guitars um, really makes the band what it is. So it's indie pop, but I don't think it's a sort of straightforward indie pop, and it's not a kind of
Yeah.
twee indie pop. It's got a bit of an edge to it, which I really like.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
So
seems to,
it's not a lot of sort of like adjustment that you not to do that maybe you have to sort of like tone down some of you. so like rock drumming, so like
No, I think I'd probably have to rein it in a little bit, but I think that's probably a good, a good thing. It wasn't always. It's not always best to be the loudest and the messiest it is in. So it's probably very good for me, very wholesome.
okay. Well, the next one is all these years that you've been playing drums, have you ever had any disasters or accidents, drumming accidents? Like,
Yeah, I was thinking about this because you mentioned it. I have to be honest. I don't think I don't think I have. I
yeah,
mean, I've played some bad gigs. I've played badly, and not with Jetstream Pony, of course. But I've had nights where I've not been on my best and we've dropped a stick. But we've never really had a stinker or left the kit in the van or lost this or that. I think we nearly lost the drum kit when we played the Cologne Pop Fest earlier this year, and Kerry likes to do a little bit of walkabout on stage at the end, and they're going backwards and forwards, and she came a little bit close to the drums and knocked the cymbals over. So right at the end, we had the collapsing drum kit. But that's about as close as it got to a disaster. It's literally the last note of the set, so I'm not sure it counts as a disaster.
oh right, okay. So you've never, so like, you've not hurt yourself playing drums or anything like that, though. You haven't fallen over. So. Well, the last question is, what would be your advice to aspiring drummers or just musicians in general?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the obvious one is just to practice, but I think just keep playing. I think I've played with loads of different people over the years, and I've really enjoyed that. And I think I've learned something different from every band I've played in as well, and from every musician that you played with. And I think playing with other people, as quickly as you can, is marvelous, because you get to hear and respond to other musicians. You respond to them live. You have to learn to cope with somebody making a mistake or you making a mistake, and making up for it without stopping and starting or letting the audience know what's going on. And I think it's just that, getting to that habit of playing with other people, as many different people as you can, and keep going. Yeah, absolutely. And don't sell your drum kit. I think
don't see it. Keep your drum kit.
Okay.
I just thought of something else, because do you know your Facebook profile photo?
Oh yeah.
Is that
What is that all about?
Is that your sort of like dream hairstyles?
I think you've probably got it there. Yeah, as you can see, hair has never been, for a long time. Hair hasn't been a thing. Yeah, that photo was taken. I think it was a friend's 30th, so that'll tell you how long ago it was. And for some reason, there was a wig going around, and I stuck it on, and a mate of mine took a picture. So when Facebook started, whenever it was, I had that picture. And I thought, oh well, I'll stick that one on, and I can't change it now. I think.
No.
So I could update my profile, but I think it's going to be like that forever now.
Yeah, no, that's good. Well, thank you so much, Tom. I really enjoyed chatting to you about your drumming career and your Jetstream Pony everything. So, do you want to just sort of like invite everyone who's all like watching us to your gig at 229?
Absolutely, yeah. So, oh goodness me, I'm going to have to work out when it is. So it's 2 weeks away anyway. So I think it's we're playing on the 14th in Bristol on the Friday night, and then in the 15th we're playing at 229 at Great Portland Street on the Saturday night. So yeah, come along. And
you're not doing Glasgow Spot. You're not doing Glasgow Spot, are you? No?
We're not doing it this year. I think they're alternating, because they might be alternating. Maybe next year.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. Well, I hope to see Jetstream Pony again soon, and see you, of course, because I mean, like I said, hopefully you'll stay as the drummer. Because I was all like,
have you heard?
I'm so like thinking maybe the next time I go see Jetstream Boy, they'll have another one. But no, hopefully, like hopefully, because you're doing the new album. So
Yeah, so they've got to stick with me for another couple of months at least.
yeah. Well, thank you so much, Tom. I really enjoyed that, and enjoyed enjoy going to the beach, and it's still nice weather out there. It was
Yeah,
all like, yeah. I
we've
mean,
got
I'm not much of a beach person myself, but sometimes I do wish it would be nice to just go there or something. So you're very lucky to have the beach near
yeah,
you.
no, we are really love it every time we're there. Really appreciate it.
All right. Well, enjoy the rest of the weekend, and thank you so
Great,
much.
great to see you,
Uh,
Anne. Thanks a
yeah.
lot.
See you soon. Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye. Oh, thank you all so much for joining us live. Once again, I'm really sorry about my voice because I've still got this cold. And thank you so much to Jetstream Pony, Beth, Sean, Lee. Oh, you're all really nice. I'm really glad that you're here to join us like live. Um, and I wish I could go to the gigs, but Bristol and London sometimes I can't always like go there. But hopefully I'll see you again soon. I'm really looking forward to the new album as well. So thank you all so much, and everyone who's joined us live, thank you. For being here, and for your continued support to our guests and Ask the Drummer. So next week we're gonna have a punk drummer from Macclesfield. So that will be really, really good as well. So I hope you'll all join us again next week. But for now, enjoy the rest of the weekend. I wish we could, wish we could all go to the beach like Tom and his family. They're going there after this. So but yeah, for us, we'll just enjoy. I think in the UK, it's nice at the moment, and I'm sure in the Philippines it's nice as well. It's nice and warm. It's always warm there, anyways. Yeah. So as always, love music, love life, love drummers. They're absolutely amazing. I still can't believe that Tom has been playing drums since the 80s. I really thought it was sort of like as young as Hannes or Tony. So it was like, it's really nice to sort of like get to know him more. So yeah, that's all for me for now, and thank you all so much. Hope to see you all again next week. Bye for now. Bye.